Finding the time to work out when you're home can be hard enough, but it's even more difficult when you're out on the road. I end up traveling a lot to train small groups and big groups, and inside of those times, I find it even more difficult to create the space, but also some routine for fitness that's at least going to keep me at a spot where I maintain what I have. If you're new to the channel, you know that it is about creating a have-it-all lifestyle where your body's on point, your being's on point, your balance is on point, and your business is on point. And I don't want to let any of those slip simply because I'm not at my home gym for a couple of days. And it's even harder to find the time when I am out on the road and traveling. And so I've got to compress my workouts down into really short periods of time. And I've got to find movements and routines that will fit more of my style of fitness and my demands of what I want out of my body rather than anything else that I find like in a hotel gym. Because most of the time, hotel gyms just suck. They might have a machine or two, and most of the time they've got a treadmill with somebody's already on the treadmill by the time you get there. And in reality, 30 minutes of walking isn't going to get me what I want because I'm a strength and conditioning athlete, and just walking for 30 minutes isn't going to help me out much. So we're gonna do a quick workout together. It's gonna be 15 minutes, and I designed this with the idea that we're gonna confine the space. I wanted to be able to do this in a hotel room, and that meant that I also had to do it with no equipment. But that would still wind up helping me, again, maintain the body that I have, knowing that we're not making any gains while we're on trip. It's really about not losing any of the fitness that you currently have just because you're gone for a couple of days. Now, before we get started, I need disclaimers all over this thing. One is I am not a personal trainer. It just so happens that I have been into fitness personally since I was 15 years old, ever since my sister told me that girls wouldn't like me unless I had big arms. And so I've been doing this over and over and over again. So I will have you consider that my results are my certification. That's part one. Part two is I think I'm supposed to tell you that before you start any fitness routine, you should really consult a physician. Now, there's that disclaimer around. If you feel like consulting a physician before you do this, then I would definitely encourage you to do that. Know that I am in fitness almost every single day, 365 days a year. I might miss 5 of those total days. So what we're about to do is not necessarily taxing for me in a big sense, but it might be for you. And if it is for you, then that's fine. There's a way to pace this that I'm going to tell you about inside of the workout when we start doing that. But know that everybody's version of hard is different. What I'm doing in this, you might look at it and be like, that's not hard at all. And some of you might look at this and say like, that is the hardest thing that I've ever seen somebody do. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, just find what's right for you and do that. And what you're gonna find is this is gonna build in intensity. This is gonna be something where at the start, we're not gonna be breathing very hard. And then by the end, I wanna be breathing hard. I doubt I'm gonna get very sweaty in 15 minutes. Plus, when I'm in a hotel room, I like to crank the AC way down. So that's not really the case of what we're doing here. And remember, all I'm looking to do is maintain some level of fitness and give myself energy throughout the day, which I end up getting by working out. It doesn't take energy away from me. It actually gives me more. So understanding all of that, let's dive into the workout. All right, enough talking about it. Let's actually do it. I've got my timer on my watch set for 3 minutes. First movement that we're gonna do is an air squat, which is just simply coming down to the spot that is just below parallel in your knees. Something I never did. Like I never wanted to do legs when I was a kid because, well, like I told you, my sister told me that I needed big arms in order to do it. And so you're just gonna go down and really just kind of do a squat. You don't really need that much weight. You don't even need anything other than your body weight to do it. We're gonna continue doing squats for the 3 minutes because everything in this workout is centered around finishing in 3-minute blocks. Because those 5 movements that we're gonna do in these 3 minutes are really all you're gonna need in order to make it through your day. You can tell I'm already breathing hard just a little bit. Could be because I just woke up and I wind up doing this workout right away. Which, I don't know about you, but man, doing it right away is a big time difference throughout my day in terms of how I feel than I would if I was winding up doing this later in the day. All right, so we are 1 minute through. And especially on a day like today, where I'm gonna be training people from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. At night, I'm not gonna wanna do this. I'm gonna wind up wanting to talk to my wife, talk to my kids, wind up having some dinner, read a little bit, and go to sleep. I'm not gonna wanna work out later. I wanna work out right now. This is the only time of day that I have to do it. We are halfway there right now if you're doing this one with me. We continue going. I don't even count the number, by the way. Like a lot of times you'll see that there are workouts that are prescribed by doing this many sets and this many reps. I'm not so much worried about that. I'm just worried about the number that I do inside of a time frame that I do it. I do CrossFit, and this kind of thing would be called an AMRAP, which is as many reps as possible in a minute or however long. So we got 1 minute left of doing these air squats. It's always hard for me to get the right depth where I'm below my knees, where my butt's below my knees. That's what I mean in depth. It's always hard for me to get down there because I have bad mobility. If I could go back to my 20-year-old self or my now 43-year-old self, I would say, bro, don't worry about lifting those weights. Don't worry about running those miles. Just stretch. Your 43-year-old self will thank you for it. All right, we got 30 seconds left. Actually 26. Five seconds. All right, cool. So my timer's finished. And the next move that we've got is going to be push-ups. And I'm gonna move the camera down so you can actually see me do these push-ups. And we're gonna set a timer. And this one's gonna be a little bit different because we're not gonna be doing nearly as many. 3 minutes of push-ups is damn near impossible. So we're gonna be taking some breaks inside of this 3 minutes because there's no other way around it. And I'll be giving you some ideas on push-ups when I take a break, which now seems like a good time. So one of the things, if your shoulder winds up hurting, like my shoulder hurts because I'm old, when you have push-ups with a wide stance like this, like if you move your hands out more, I don't know if you can see that, but if they're wider like this, it's harder to do. When you bring them inside closer, like just outside of your chest, they wind up giving you more room to get down further, and the push-up itself winds up being easier. Well, relatively, right? Because a push-up is never an easy thing. All right, we need another break for that. See, well, maybe I am breathing hard and maybe I will get a little bit sweaty. Gotta take back that prophecy from the beginning of the workout. All right, bang out a couple more here. I got 1 minute and 37 seconds left. And I'm down to only being able to do 6 in a row. Somebody was asking me recently, like, hey, how many push-ups can you do unbroken, meaning without resting? And I'm like, I don't know, I've never tried. I feel like if I was completely fresh, I'd probably get somewhere around 40. And I'd have to take a break. All right, we got to 7, 50 seconds left. Now see what I mean? If you go to the hotel gym and you're just walking on a treadmill, like you won't be breathing hard at all. Nor will you get any sort of like physical activity in your muscles. I'll talk to you guys about the different types of workouts here in a second and what they do for you in case you don't know. Got 18 seconds left. At 10 seconds, I'm gonna go again. All right, there we go. All right, Timer's up on push-ups. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys back up again. Okay, now our next move, actually I'll bring you back down because our next move is on the ground as well. So what we're gonna do now is just a simple set on our sit-ups. Again, this is something that we're giving ourselves a different area of our bodies to work on right now because we just worked on chest. We were just pushing. Now what we're doing is we are bringing ourselves into a muscle that we weren't using, so now we're fresh because you're not using your abs too much when you're doing push-ups. There's a little bit of stabilization in there through your core, but ultimately we're not contracting them. Right now, I'm contracting the muscles in my abs. That's going to activate them at a deeper level than they would have if I was simply doing things like in a plank position. So we're not even a minute into it. Probably gonna need to rest in this too, which is okay. Right? If you gotta rest, rest. If you feel tired, tired. Keep it going. In terms of the time, rest as little as you need to. Don't rest like for 3 minutes. But if you wind up resting for 30 seconds of your 3 minutes, I'm not gonna be mad at you. And you shouldn't be mad at yourself either. Ever notice that we are the primary shit talkers to ourselves about ourselves? Which is one of the reasons we work out, so we feel good. All right, about halfway through here, guys. If you're working out with me, good on you, keep it going. All right, a little less than a minute left here. Less than 20 seconds. All right, that's time for that move. Now I get to pick you back up and put you back up on the table. All right, next thing that we're gonna drop into here is we're gonna drop back into step back lunges. So it's something where I knew that I didn't have a lot of space. And so I wanted to be able to do something else for my legs besides air squats. And so we wind up getting into a step back lunge, which is just taking a step back and dropping your knee. So we're working our quads with the squat. This is working our butts. There's actually a bigger muscle than your quad. It just doesn't seem like it. The butt's the most powerful thing in your body. Or at least should be. So we're on our fourth move of 5. And I promise you, the fifth one, if you're not breathing hard by the time you get there, you will be when you leave. I promise you that. The further we get into this workout, the less chatty I can be. And I definitely ain't chatting in the next 3 minutes. If you find yourself resisting to working out, whether you're traveling or at home, recognize that nobody ever said, I wish I hadn't gone to the gym today. halfway there in the lunges. I'm feeling that one. Maybe because we did a ton of lunges yesterday at the actual gym. Not the hotel room gym like we're dealing with right now. One minute left. This is the type of low impact stuff where if you tell yourself like, oh, I need to take a break, this is the kind of stuff to push through. Like muscle wise, if your muscles can handle it, right? If this is something where you're just new to working out and you're just like, I can't go, then don't. But like for me right now, I'm kind of tempted to take a break, which means it's time for me to push further than I feel like I can. Because that's what fitness is about, isn't it? All right, we're getting inside of our final 20 seconds with this. I'm actually nervous because of the next move. All right, 5. All right, we are done with that move. All right, time to move into our last one. Move the camera back a little bit further. Make sure that you can maximally see what it is we are doing right here. Okay, we're gonna set a 3-minute timer. And what we're doing is we're just doing burpees flat out. Many burpees as you can do, which means I'm not gonna be talking a whole lot. Sure, my neighbor downstairs loves me right now. See, this is where you're gonna need to give yourself breaks. Almost there, halfway, guys. I say that as much for me as I'm saying it for you if you're working out. Gotta go in here in a second. Thank God I finished that. All right, talk about this for a second. All right, so this is how out of breath I got. If you're not this out of breath, good for you. You're very fit. If you're more out of breath than this, good for you. It means that you're here. And it means that you're trying, which is really all you can ask from yourself. Remember, when we're traveling, that doesn't remove ourselves from the obligation of having our bodies fit. When we move and travel, it doesn't pull us away from what we need to do in terms of our spiritual connection, meditation, Bible reading, whatever that means for you. It doesn't pull us away from needing to be there for our families. Like I'm talking FaceTime of mine tonight. And doesn't mean we've got to pull our way from business. It's most of the time when you're traveling, it is about business. And it's easy to forget the other three while you're dealing with the one. And so it becomes this game for me of compressing those things down, compressing the other things, compressing body down, compressing spirituality down, and then compressing time with family because I spend time less with them while I'm on the road than I do when I'm home. But still hitting all four of those things every single day. And you're going to find a transformation inside of your life. I know there's all sorts of different videos on the channel, but you want the next one about body, it's going to pop up for you in just a second.